Hi, my name is Sylvia Stamper. The purpose of this speech is to inform listeners how to grow tomatoes in buckets. By the end of my speech, you will know how to grow your own tomatoes. Who doesn't love fresh tomatoes? The only thing that can make a fresh tomato better is growing it yourself. Everyone can be a bucket farmer. You don't have to have a lot of money or space to grow your own fresh vegetables. Today we're going to discuss how it can save you money. We're going to learn how these tomatoes are actually healthier for you, and we're going to go over the steps in planting your own tomatoes. Much of the information that I'm sharing with you today is coming from personal experience. My husband and I actually have gardened for about 10 plus years, and I also use some reputable websites such as verticalveg.org and garden.org, which both had great stories, great tips on helping you proceed with growing awesome tomatoes. Let's see how it's going to save us money and it's healthier than buying tomatoes at your local grocery store. The only expense in this project is the cost of the supplies. You're going to need a bucket, preferably a 5-gallon size or something similar, a tomato plant or seeds, and some potting soil, all of which you can purchase at your local Walmart. You have about $12 invested in the entire project. The outcome of this is pretty impressive. Deborah Brogdon, a local farmer, sells tomatoes at the farmer's market for $2 per pound. She states that one plant can yield up to 10 pounds of tomatoes. This, of course, will depend on the type of plant that you choose. Because the tomatoes may produce more than a family can consume, many bucket farmers choose to store them. This can be done by freezing or canning, both of which are simple and practical. Not only is it going to save you money, as I said, these vegetables are going to be healthier. When you grow your own tomatoes, you see everything that you put on your plant. Large retailers use suppliers that use gases to color the tomatoes. This is something that most consumers don't know. Myself, as a farmer, I didn't know that. Barry Estabrook, a freelance writer for the New York Times and the Washington Post, states the mass-produced tomatoes in our supermarkets lack flavor due to the fact they are raised for endurance, not flavor. This means they are going to survive the transport to your local retailers. He goes on to state that 110 different fungicides, pesticides, and herbicides are used on these crops too. This is why more people are trying to grow their own tomatoes. Let's get started on our own bucket garden. There are a few steps involved in this project. As I said, the best container to use is a 5-gallon bucket or something similar to this size. Small holes should be drilled in the bottom to allow water to drain. We're going to place a stick in the bucket somewhat off-centered just to serve as security for your plant. Once your plant gets a little height, it's going to need to be secure so it doesn't fall over. You can use a piece of string just to attach it to the stake. We're not going to pack the soil. It's going to be filled loosely. This is going to allow the water to penetrate once we are done. Fertilizer is not going to be necessary if we use a good potting soil. An example of a good potting soil would be a mix of potting soil, perlite, peat moss, and compost. The soil at this point is ready for the plant. We're going to place the plant in the soil, and the soil should be about 2 inches above the root system of the plant. If you choose to use seeds, then you're simply going to do everything else as we did with the plant, except you're going to just push your seeds about 1.5 inches in the soil and cover them lightly. Then we're going to water it, and with it being loose, the dirt will absorb that moisture. The only thing that's left, wait and watch your plant grow. So I'm hoping everyone has learned from this speech that you can save money by growing your own tomato plants. We can say that it is healthier. And also, we have actually demonstrated how to do that ourselves. Now, you don't have to wish you could grow your own tomatoes. Be your very own bucket farmer.